Fanduel NFL Week 6. We're taking a look at everything, the salaries, the matchups, the plays. We're going to put together a first look lineup. Everything you need to get ready for Fanduel NFL Week 6. Let's get into it. All right, guys. As always, let's take a brief glance at the matchup tool for NFL Week 6. And there are 3 or 4 games that are really popping on the tool this week. Let's start with the first one. Arizona at the Colts. Colts at home, 47.5 point total in that one. Colts are massively favored in this, 6.5 points. They've been smashing and bashing all season with Jonathan Taylor. So we'll have to keep an eye on that game and see if we can do a little back and forth there. Next up, we've got Seattle at the Jaguars, 46.5 point total. These teams both play pretty good defense, so I don't have as much excitement for this game. I think we can get some pieces from it, and I'm interested in Brian Thomas Jr. starting to break out a little bit, but in general, not crazy about that one. The one that I am excited about, Dallas at the Panthers, 49.5 point total, the best game on the slate, guys. Take note, Dallas games turn into smash fests. Okay, it's been happening week after week after week. Remember Caleb against Dallas, even Fields, who sucks, against Dallas. Everybody does Dallas. Everybody does Dallas. Stink. So defensively, that is the team to target. We got to consider players from the Panthers in this game. And, of course, on Dallas, too, because Panthers are a great team to target as well. That game really pops. The last one, and, you know, I really love this one as well, San Francisco at Tampa. Tampa Bay has a specific pass funnel defense. So teams are throwing a ton against these guys. It really bodes well for the passing game of San Francisco. Unfortunately, we don't know who's healthy in the passing attack for San Francisco. So that's something we're going to have to figure out over the course of the week. All right, let's get into FanDuel. And first, I want to talk about the contest that I'm showing here. Top 50% paid. Guaranteed overlay. Where does it say it? Guaranteed overlay. It says it on the main thing. When you see a contest on FanDuel that says, here, I'll go here to the main page, guaranteed overlay, you want to enter that contest. That is FanDuel giving you free money. Now, they were doing it for a bunch of contests early this season. It was great. Now we're down to just this one, the snap. It's only 20 max. Come on, FanDuel. Give me a 150 entry and give me 20 max. Nonetheless, it's very important to max this contest out every week because it is one of the very, very few contests in DFS across all of DFS that you will be profitable on even if you don't win the whole thing. Every other 20 max contest, you generally are going to lose 30 to 60% of your entry fees every single time. Get used to it. I don't want to get used to it. I hate losing money. Well, that's the game of mass multi-entry GPPs. If you want to do small tournaments, multipliers, and be a profitable player on FanDuel and DraftKings, do what we do on the Players Club for VIPs at DFS Army every Saturday, and we attack multipliers, 10x, super boosters, quadruple ups, the kind of contest that you could play profitably. Big GPPs normally won't be profitable until you win one, except for this one because it's got the overlay. Let's go. All right. So we already know a contest. It's the $4 snap. Let's get into the player pool. Very top of the list here, we got Justin Herbert on the road at Miami. Fine, right? Teams have been torching Miami through the air. Not a good defense. Great. Herbert, not that easy to figure out who to stack with. And I'm not trying to play the highest, most expensive quarterback anyway. So, okay spot. Jordan Love being the most expensive quarterback on any slate is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what this is about. Why is the price here? Makes no sense. This is a Josh Jacobs game all the way, in my humble opinion. What? Why is he priced up? Hell no. Hell to the no. Baker Mayfield, on the other hand, Baker's been good. Like, he hasn't been like spectacular, but he's been really, really good all throughout the season. You could see here, nice production. Got the 29-pointer last week. Really awesome game. 379 passing yards. And he's been around 20 points every week. So Baker definitely on the radar. But more importantly, this game is the sexy game of the week. So we're going to keep him in mind. But again, pay up option, we'll see, right? Dak Prescott also. This guy has been doing it. Even on the road. Last week, he broke his streak of being terrible on the road. Now he gets the Panthers. It's a pretty good matchup for a man like Dak. So we'll see how that goes as well. But I like that spot. New England at New Orleans, maybe. Stafford on the road at Baltimore. Feels like a Kyron game a little bit. Baltimore defense is really bad, though. And they are bleeding points to quarterbacks. Danny Dimes at home against Arizona. I think it's playable. Danny Dimes showed us, though, last week. Sometimes the Colts can just lean heavy on the run. They put up 40 points, and Dimes only got you a 16.6. I don't like that. Don't make me happy. So the dominance of the running back is hurting some of Daniel Jones's upside. That said, he's in another good spot, so I'm not going to fade it, but I don't want to make him my quarterback for this slate. Here's Mac Jones. You know what? I like Mac. Slinging it. 35 for 42, 342 yards against a tough Rams defense on the road last week. Pretty good stuff. They're facing Tampa's pass funnel defense, where you really have to throw against them. I like the spot. I think we could slot Mac Jones in to the quarterback spot here. Let's keep scrolling and see what else we have available to us this slate. I mean, you got Darnold there. Okay, on the road. All right. Jacksonville, pretty good defense. Not into it. Kyler Murray also. I just never play Kyler Murray. Sorry. You've never seen me recommend Kyler Murray on the show, on anything else. I just really don't play him. It hasn't really burned me ever. Like, I can count on one hand how many times this guy has had 25-plus fantasy points. He gets all this cred for being a running quarterback, but he rarely runs for a touchdown. I don't really get it. So he's not my guy. I do like some of the pass catchers that are attached to him, but he's just not my guy. Tua at home. You know, Tua also had a really good game last week. It's rare that Tua puts up a decent number. That's about the peak, though. About a 22-24 that you can get. I don't like it this week. Bryce Young is interesting. Bryce Young is interesting me a little bit. If Bryce Young is going to be super low owned, then I don't know, right? It's early in the week. If he's going to be a low owned player this week, I have interest in him because Dallas is creating big scores from the quarterback position. They are allowing the most fantasy points per game of any team in the league to opposing quarterbacks. Remember the Caleb game? Again, Justin Fields did it. Everybody's done it against the Cowboys this year. It seems like their opponent always puts up a big number. So I don't mind going down to Bryce Young at all. I think even Geno, gross, right? But even Geno might be mildly relevant here against the Titans, although probably not. Yeah, that's about it for the quarterbacks. Joe Flacco at Stoneman salary is interesting this season now that he's traded to the Bengals, but I'm not sure about this game on the road at the Packers. They're a tough defense. So I'm not sure I'm ready to go there this week. I've got to let it marinate for a few days. I need to hear some blurbs from the coaches and whatnot. Jonathan Taylor at running back gets the price hike over 10K. That is the ultimate price point for any kind of player on Fanduel, and it rarely pays off. It's tough to pay this much. McCaffrey, 9,500, also against a pass funnel defense. Little spendy. I'm going to try to find better deals, right? So Josh Jacobs in a smash spot. I like this against the 32nd ranked Bengals rush defense. And there you have Kyron Williams against the 31st ranked Ravens defense. I mean, really good. These are really good spots. Got to spend a lot, but possibly worth it. I know as I'm making my official lineups for DraftKings for FanDuel this week that I'm going to have plenty of these guys. But for the first look, we really want to get, I'm trying to find the bargain, the value guys. So we'll keep looking here. Achan's okay. Ashton Janty's in a really good spot. at home against the Titans. I don't mind that for 8K. Javonte, Carolina, not a very good run defense. Henry, no. Bucky's not going to play. It doesn't look like. Travis Etienne getting there, right? We're getting closer. We're getting closer. Oh, yeah. We're getting closer. 7,300 at home. Etienne should be fine here. I'm not sure he has enough upside to justify the 7, 14, 21. He's right there. Like, I think his peak for us is going to be about a 20 in this game. And that's not too bad. Considerable. Judkins has looked really good pretty much in every game. They're feeding him massive volume. I don't think that stops here. I think it's a perfectly acceptable play. I just don't like the game total on this one. It's pretty gross. Keep going. No to Kenneth Walker. No to Kamara. Rashad White, very interesting as well. 14 carries, 4 receptions. Got all the work last week. Sean Tucker just spelled him a little bit. And I don't think that Bucky's going to be back here. So I think we could consider Rashad White, who's never much of a touchdown scorer. That's my biggest concern. It looks like he got to 21 last week. Yeah, it took 2 touchdowns to get there. I'm going to think on that one. But I'm definitely sliding Rico Dowdle into the starting lineup here. Carolina at home against Dallas. You got to play running backs against Dallas pretty much. And Dowdle was great last week. Why not go back to it? It's a revenge. He was on Dallas last year. I don't know what's vengeance for. They gave him a shot, gave him a career. I don't know what you're mad about, but revenge narrative for Rico Dowdle. I'm putting him in. Scrolling through, yeah, Chase Brown, no. Warren, no. Carter, Carter got it done last week, guys. He was fine, right? He is clearly the RB1, and even more so now for the Cardinals. You know what? I think I will slide him in there because after that stupid play, they should cut Amari DeMarcado. They should send a message to the team. Stop being a fucking moron and don't be stupid. Don't lose us the game because of your moronic stupidity. And therefore, he should be cut. DeMarcado, gone. That's what it should happen. It doesn't happen. It hasn't happened. It should happen. Not to mention I had DeMarcado in some lineups, so I was extra pissed. People are going to be talking up Hassan Haskins, maybe Kamani Vidal this week. I'm not into it. I do think Ramondre Stevenson is actually weirdly viable in this matchup against the Saints. I don't want to do it, but it's really weirdly viable. But I'm not going to do it. So, inexpensive running backs. We'll fill in and upgrade later when we figure out who our wide receivers are. All right, let's keep going and take a look at the wide receiver group on FanDuel for NFL Week 6. All right, and starting at the very top, of course, Puka Nacua, top price guy. He's been smashing all year. This isn't a competitive matchup for the Rams, but Puka's so good, you just always want to play him. You know, the one thing about FanDuel is it will reward us. If he doesn't get the touchdown, like, we're not going to get burned by not playing the guy. So at that price, he really needs to put up a touchdown and really score 30 points, which he's been doing frequently enough. So he can get there. JSN 9K. Also, I mean, nothing bad to say here. Jack Smith and Jigba has been the absolute nuts stud all season long. So it's a little expensive, but I don't mind the play at all. Here we go. Emeka Egbuka. Now we're talking 8,100 coming off the big game as well last week. 30 fantasy points. He was a monster. He is a monster. They have no one else. And I think he can get it done here. I wouldn't mind playing him at this price. I wouldn't mind sliding him in there. San Francisco at Tampa. Maybe we'll get a little bring back going with Emeka Egbuka. I feel like Devontae Adams is due for a big game. Just like they just feed him so he can have his big game. Maybe Baltimore will double team Puka and like at some point right around week 5 or 6, like right around this time, teams start to figure out, oh my gosh, they're crushing us with Puka. We need to play, we need to double team him. And that's when Devontae Adams is going to start to shine. We're almost there. The Devontae Adams breakout game is so close. I can taste it. Is it going to be this week? We'll see. George Pickens, George Pickens does, the matchup's not the best, quite honestly, against Carolina secondary, especially J.C. Horn in that secondary, really, really good defensive back. So, but then again, Pickens might be just good enough to not matter. So there's that, but I'm not going to use him here. Just like last week I said, as good as the spot was for Pickens in terms of the high total for Dallas, he was going to be covered by Sauce, and obviously Sauce shut him down. Some people actually DM me and were like, hey, he scored a touchdown. All right. He had 2 receptions for 57 yards. That's called getting shut down by a cornerback. So that's what happened. Can J.C. Horn do that? I don't know. Brian Thomas Jr. started to heat up last week, got a bunch of targets, almost did something, but he continues to not do anything. So tough to trust the arm of Trevor Lawrence. I just, I need to see something different out of him. It's just not been good. Metcalf, Quentin Johnston. Johnston will be nice in a pairing with his quarterback, Herbert. I don't know if I want to play him. Standalone, I think he's playable as well in this Miami spot. Metcalf, low total game. Marvin Harrison is actually a decent play as well, I think. I think I like him a little more on DraftKings. He's a little cheaper there relative to this price. But the next name I'm going to slide in to the slide, Zay Flowers is a no. Jalen Waddle is interesting, as is Ted McMillan. Like, both of these players are really interesting to me. Waddle, he's the only game in town for Miami at this point. 110 yards last week, got the touchdown. I think Waddle is somebody we have to be on top of. Ted McMillan in the nut matchup against Dallas has not had a big fantasy game yet, but the targets are there. And if Bryce Young finally has a big game, I think it will translate for Ted. So I think he's somebody we can play as well. I don't mind it, but let's see if we can find something less expensive. Ricky Pearsall, still Q tag, so I don't want to mess with that right now. We'll see. The whole of the San Francisco pass catching corps are really interesting, whoever plays. So if it's Pearsall or Kendrick Bourne or Juwan Jennings, whoever it is, I want them on my teams, right? That is a game I want to target from both sides. We already have a Booga on the bring back. Get more. Keenan Allen there. Michael Pittman, also really good spot for Pittman against this Arizona defense, heavy favored Colts team here. I don't mind that. Let's see here. Keep that going. Myers, there's Juwan Jennings. Jacoby Myers, at some point he's going to have a big game, but who knows when. Stephon Diggs had a breakout last week. Check this out. 12 targets, 10 receptions, 146 yards. Was it the start of something that will continue? I'm leaning yes. I think it's something. I think we're seeing something percolating here with Diggs. So I'm leaning yes to it. I don't mind him at all. 5,900, super reasonable price. Matthew Golden, Chris Olave, okay. Kendrick Bourne, 5,700. So if the other guys aren't starting, if Pearsall is out and Juwan Jennings is out, I'll probably have something like 75% exposure to Kendrick Bourne. This is crazy. 11 targets, 10 receptions. He was the only thing in town. He has such a nice connection with Mac Jones. Everything about this play smacks. So I would never put a wide receiver in the flex on Fanduel. We don't do that here. I'm going to slide him into the starting spot with Mac Jones and hope that, he's our guy. But of course, if Juwan and Pearsall play, then we're going to have to switch off of him. But if they don't, I'm virtually all in on him. So it's like a little bit of one, a little bit of the other. I want to also acknowledge Rashid Shaheed, who we talked up on Tournament Tactics last week. He does what he does, which is win you a tournament when it works, right? He's a deep play guy, and he wins you the tournament when it works. There's Chris Godwin at 5,400, somebody also to consider for DFS this week. And maybe Flournoy. Flournoy came up on one of our shows, and you know what? I can dig it. Nine targets last week, fine. All right, let's move on to defense, and then we'll finish it up at the tight end position. Now, with defenses, I'm always looking to start with the cheapest viable defense that I kind of think is acceptable on the slate. Dolphins, no. Bengals, no. Ravens, no. Panthers, no. Cardinals, no. Saints, no. Browns, yes. Right? Browns on the road. Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers, not that good. Fine by me. I'd slide that right in for 3,500. Raiders against the Titans, acceptable play. You can play the Raiders, no problem. Cam Ward has been very generous to opposing defenses. No worries at all right there. So I would do that. I think I like the Browns a little more, but we could play the Raiders. They're at home. Is their defense good? No, Kevin, their defense isn't good. Who cares? It's Cam Ward. Scroll up. Colts, maybe. Patriots, maybe. Rams, probably. Chargers, nah. Seattle, no. But Steelers, yes. Steelers and Packers, definitely. So if we want to pay up, Packers against Flacco in his first game, totally doable. Packers are awesome at home. Steelers against Dylan Gabriel, sure. Why not? At home? Hell yeah. So nice, well-rounded defense selection this week where we could pay up if we want or pay all the way down. Either way, it works. Let's see what we have left here on this line of 7,750. Got plenty of cash left over. We're going to be able to upgrade a lot of these. Oops, the heck? Oh, there we go. We're going to be able to upgrade a lot of these positions, but let's get down to business at the tight end spot. Oh, actually, before we do the tight end spot, we are running a special promotion this week at DFS Army, a flash sale. I didn't want to do it, but the producer told me we got to do it. So they're running a flash sale. NFL Flash is the code. The promo code is NFL Flash for new customers only at DFS Army. If you want to check out all the tools, the Discord, the cheat sheets, the domination station, everything we have to do. We're going to crush. We've been crushing NFL all season long. It's unbelievable. Actually, we've had it's shocking. We're having our best season ever by far with wins. They're crazy. The projection model is destroying all other projection models. It's been happening. I told you guys it would. I told you we had the most accurate projection system in the industry, and you're seeing it. So you get 25% off with promo code NFL Flash. Check out DFS Army, VIP, all sports, or the NFL only, whichever one you want. All right. Tight end position. Fergie. Nothing wrong with that. 7K. Jake Ferguson smashed last week. More of the same, really, probably on tap here. He got 2 touchdowns, 20 points. Unreal. Tyler Warren has been a massive part of I think he threw for a touchdown. Or he tried to. Like, he's been a massive part of the Colts offense all season long. Love that. Tucker Kraft as well. So all these guys look really good. That's crazy. They're all priced above Trey McBride here. Trey McBride's the most expensive on DraftKings. So, how things have turned. We got Darren Waller, also coming off a bunch of big games recent times. So, fine. 5 for 5, 4 for 4. I think that's going to continue with him. The Dolphins need somebody to throw to in the red zone. They need a big body, and he's that guy. So I think it's going to keep going. Hunter Henry's always, he's good for a pop every once in a while. We got Mark Andrews here. Not excited about that. David Njoku, probably not. But Jake Tungus. Okay, if we're paying down, Tungus, 11 targets last week, 7 receptions. Again, I don't want to, this is something we could just slide right in there. I don't mind it. If we're going to pay down at tight end, especially when it's Mac Jones lineup, I'm actually going to slide him right in there. But a couple of the names to acknowledge from last week. AJ Barner had a massive game. So I don't know what that means, but I played him in a season-long league where I was in, I had Bowers was out and it worked out really well. I'm not sure he can repeat that though. So if we're going to pay down, I think it's Tungus. And if we're paying up for any of Ferguson, really Warren, Kraft, or probably those 3 would be my top 3, maybe even in that order. I really like Ferguson here. All right. Let's just go to the flex here. We got 9,900. Might as well spend it. So you can just slide, a Puka in there and call it a day. Or if we want to upgrade some other spots, it's very easy to grab a Josh Jacobs here, and I got 1,200 here. We can spend it elsewhere, upgrade any one of these other spots. So, guys, that's going to do it for the FanDuel NFL Week 6 first look. Remember to get back here on the DFS Army YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. We've got shows going nonstop across all sports, and of course the Showdown Breakdown back here on Wednesday, or on Thursday morning, actually, for the Thursday Night Showdown, and Tournament Tactics on Friday at 5 p.m. Don't miss it. Good luck, everybody. Helmets up. I'll see you guys next time.